Hold on. Stand by. Okay. Okay, here we go, everybody. Stand by. There we go, JR. All right, we're going to get this under control and rolling. Just a moment. It is Friday. I was out working on a project, folks. We're going to have a lot more info coming up. Let me actually just a moment. Here we go. There we go. Okay, we should be good to go. I think that should be good. And we're just going to wait for JR to give us the go-ahead. And we shall begin. Yep. Okay, we are just waiting for JR to give us the go-ahead. And all we need right now, JR, is we are standing by. Folks, standing by. And I believe we're going to be told we can go. Not exactly sure what is happening here. That's not sure which one he's talking about, because I'm looking at it right now. And let's see. Folks, stand by. There we go. There I am. Hello, JR. Hello, JR. I'm not sure. No video. What do you mean no video? It's right there. I'm calling your name. No video on Facebook, he says. Should I just go live? Folks, these things can happen. I'm not sure what that means. I need it on your Facebook feed. It is on my Facebook feed. Folks, everybody stand by just a moment. We're going to get this straightened out. I'm not exactly sure why he is not having success with that. So I'm looking at myself right now on Facebook, and I think we're good to go. So we're definitely, I'm seeing that we're live. Hold on, everybody. I'm not sure why it came down that way. Okay, go live. All right, at 1:08. Folks, good afternoon. Minor problem, but it looks like it has been straightened out. It does. Right now, all right, it is 1:08 on this Friday. You're listening. This is the real news. Now, I do want to mention, folks, listen, number one, we're live. That's number one. Number two, these things can happen, right? That is the technology world that we are living in. So we utilize it, and it's not easy. And that's why sometimes we're a little bit delayed, but I like to make sure that everything is solid. I'm checking right now on X, and I think we're good. Yes. I like to make sure. There it is. That sounds nice and clear to me. So Sounds very, very clear to me. So we're going to begin. And I would imagine that we are good to go on YouTube. I could certainly check that out. But I think we're also, folks. So right now, there I am. Yes. Hello, everybody. So remember, we're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on X. I want to also mention, all right, there we go. And obviously on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. I actually want to point out something, and that is, excuse me, during this hour when we're live on YouTube, YouTube does have the ability, you can just bring it down on your device, whether it be your phone, what have you, and bring it down on the device. And then as a result of that, you can do other things with your phone and you can still watch and listen on YouTube. That is not something you could do with Facebook. I think you can do it with X. I'm pretty sure you can do it with X. I think Facebook is going to change that, by the way. So, but we have a lot of news on this Friday, and I'm a little confused at a story that I'm hoping we have a lot to get to. And folks, bear with me. I'm going to move very quickly on this Friday. First of all, this portion of the program, we're going to be updating DePietro.com. Remember, DePietro.com, it has all of our links to social media. It has our links to Instagram, our links to TikTok, our links, obviously, to Facebook, X, and YouTube. It's all on DePietro.com. We do have some new video going up. We've been upgrading it, doing some different things. So a little bit delayed, but the website is right there. And remember, it's brought to you by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. Remember, lunch, dinner, drinks in the lounge, and they're waiting for you at the Coesit Inn. And I also want to mention, some people have said, boy, you're talking a lot about politics these days. Well, folks, that is the big story. I mean, that is the story. Do we do crime? Of course we do crime, right? That's what Road Patrol Live is. But at the same token, when the news right now, and there's been so much news involving politics, we can't just ignore that. But things with the administration are moving very rapidly, and it has real consequences for what's happening around here. So this portion of the program is brought to you by Propane Plus. Remember, call them. The first 100 days of the new administration, brought to you by Propane Plus. Call them today, 401-885-4209, or in Massachusetts, 508-252-3359. Propane Plus, heating and cooling. You can depend on Propane Plus. Call the Johnson family. They also have a tremendous website. It's a very user-friendly website, which is propaneplus.com. Whether it's residential or commercial, call Propane Plus today at 401-885-4209, or in Massachusetts, 508-252-3359 for Propane Plus. Now, going to jump around a little bit. We do have some stories. I want to double check. There's a story that I involving the Rhode Island Republican Party, and I don't want to, by the way, a couple things. I'm going to squeeze a lot into this 1 hour. Number one, are we going to be active with Road Patrol Live later? The answer is absolutely. In this weekend, and now it's dry. Boy, it's really windy out. It's windy out. That was heavy rain and wind last night. My goodness. March is having its effect. But I don't want to overreact. But just the other day, I was praising the Rhode Island Republican Party as far as the House members. House Minority Leader Mike Chippendale and also Brian Newberry. And I was praising them because they're finally saying enough is enough. By the way, you want to hear the audio I'm about to play regarding, and it is video. I'm going to post it. Congressman Gabe Amo. By the way, everybody on Facebook, just a quick policy update. I wasn't going to say it, but so many people now contact me. All of you, actually, many of you, I should say, not all, but and say, wow, Granahan is like all she does is go to your page and lift content. So I mean, that is, by the way, that is plagiarism. So am I going to say that that's someone who's a plagiarist? I'll let other people be the judge of that. But I admittedly, in the morning, I am so busy editing, getting all of our platforms going. I actually focus. I kind of have a rhythm now where we focus on things like TikTok and YouTube in the morning. Obviously, getting ready for the radio show. So I've been honest. If I'm in the car, I'll put on the radio. I haven't been in the car a lot unless I'm on the phone. I've said when I've been in the car and I've heard Pork Boy and so forth. I'm not above that. It's supposed to be, I don't even listen to that. I don't say that. I'm just, you can't edit and do all these things. I can't be talking to people, interviewing people, and monitoring what people are stealing from the show. But be that as it may, we are going to start to load things now onto the Facebook page, probably a little bit later into the morning, because some people cited some pretty solid examples that essentially that and I don't know it. Listen, it could be many people, but that are stealing content. Wouldn't be the first time. Would not be the first time. And that particular person, kind of known, as a plagiarist and just lift stuff from the morning and so on. But anyhow, be that as may. But we have some great video coming up with Gabe Amo. But I was mentioning how I thought it was great that the Rhode Island Republican Party, House now, that they were saying to the Chamber of Commerce, like, forget, the hell with you. We're not going to go, and we're not going to be part of this stupid little dog and pony show with the Rhode Island, the Providence Chamber of Commerce. And that's Lori White. And I have said this for a long time. They're just there. They're enablers. They don't defend business. They're in with the administration, and they're part of this foolishness where the Providence Chamber of Commerce, what's left of it, that they come in and that they try to put on this little presentation, luncheon, and essentially the Rhode Island Republican at the House anyway, House Minority Leader Mike Chippendale and also Brian Newberry, they're essentially saying we're not going to be part of this anymore. So we're not going to be part of this foolishness where you come in and you're actually not serving the business community. And so I thought that was pretty strong. Now, I want to give credit, unless there's been a change, but they're skipping the legislative luncheon. There's no upside in attending. It's not a serious Rhode Island business climate discussion. The Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce support for small business is anemic. They're carrying water for state leadership in their agendas. And I thought that was terrific. It's about time that they're saying we're going to skip it. However, and I also played that House Minority Leader Mike Chippendale, that he was on Newsmakers. And I played most of their comments in their entirety to try to have more people hear them. And he was with Senate Minority Leader Jessica De La Cruz. However, but then I see this. So Ted Nesi puts out that the Rhode Island, the Providence Greater, whatever the hell it is, Chamber of Commerce, that they put out who's going to be speaking at their forum. And I apologize for not. Here it is. Senate President Ruggiero won't be attending this year's Providence Chamber legislative luncheon. It's coming up next week, March 12th. Aides say he's expected to be released from the hospital that day. So he has the featured conversation where Rhode Island's legislative leaders will include Speaker of the House Joe Sacacci, House Minority Leader Chris Blachowski, Senate Majority Leader Val Lawson. I'm going to come back to her. Senate Minority Leader Jessica de la Cruz. I don't get it. I thought the Republicans were standing together. Now, it's very possible. I'm almost willing to give benefit of the doubt that she regretted to inform them that she will not be participating. You don't see House Leader Mike Chippendale there. And then you have Chairman Senate Committee on Finance Lou DePalma. Now, by the way, that guy is totally on the payroll for the guy down in Newport, this sketchy business of buying all these cash businesses. Cash businesses. You watch. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. In the future, you watch that company that's buying all these cash businesses. Watch Ozarks or Ozark on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's plural or singular, but Ozark on Netflix. Marty Bird. Marty Bird. You want to know what's going on? Watch that. What do they do? They start buying cash businesses. Why? Because they're laundering money. But so the story point of it is that Ruggiero won't be there. But what he also mentions is that Senate Minority Leader, I don't understand, just to put a period on this. If you're Senate Minority Leader Jessica de la Cruz, when does the novelty end? When does the novelty end? When do you, just because they asked you to speak at this Providence Chamber of Commerce, just because they asked you, you don't have to go. It is a dog and pony show. They're not friendly to small business. They're just a mechanism for Democrat leadership. Blow it off. I remain, now again, I want to leave it open, but I'll say this. If she goes on and speaks, don't give me this, well, I still want my voice heard. You're participating in a farce. She should not be. Listen, either you're with the Republican Party has to be united. If she goes and speaks, don't tell me I still want people to hear my voice. It's a waste of time. It'd be a stronger statement to say, I'm not participating along with the House. Very weak. You know, I've noticed she hasn't put out a statement saying that she's not going to go. I want to give her the out. I want to still believe that she'll do the right thing. But I'll also say this. I remain. We have Dan McGowan of the Boston Globe on. He'll say that Senate Minority Leader Jessica de la Cruz is the face of the Republican Party. Folks, I don't see it. I want to see it. But she was on Newsmakers, and they said, if you could wave a magic wand and do one thing, what would it be? And immediately, the answer should be voting. Change the voting. But instead, she says, an inspector general. That is a waste. I try to be supportive. I try to be optimistic. I'm willing to wait. I'll give benefit of the doubt that she neglected to notify them that she's going to show unity within the Republican Party and also not go to be part, because it is a joke, by the way. Now, I also want to mention, folks, what you're hearing right now, and this is really important. This is really important. You're seeing that the national media, Elon Musk and the national media, what do they do? They're pointing out the total conflict of interest of Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. They're pointing that out. They're pointing out the scheme, and the local media gives him a pass, and he's revered, right? Kathy, the Providence Journal, oh, they got it wrong. That's not our senator. I mean, it's embarrassing to listen to, but be that as it may. But what they're not focusing on is the fact that it's all, the scheme is done by design. The scheme is done where he gets the grants. He's basically giving money to himself. That's true. If the wife worked for the company, meaning Sandra Whitehouse, if the wife worked for the company, it would be too much of a direct link. So the company, listen, the whole thing was, it started because they came up with a scheme to get millions of dollars. And they realized if we make her a consultant, not an employee, then boom, we can get the money we're just paying her. By the way, folks, it's a no-show job. The fact that Sandra Whitehouse is a consultant for a nonprofit that pays her $300,000 a year to study people picking up trash on the beach, which is ludicrous to me. She doesn't have a work schedule. She just gets her, I want it in a lump sum, or whatever, how it's paid every month, every 2 weeks, once a year, whatever. Boom, they just give her the 300,000 and then they keep whatever the amount is. But the fact that that's not brought out, and that is a conflict of interest, and he should be investigated, and they should not be getting that money. But the conflict of interest that no one points out is what's going on in the state Senate. And I'm going to talk about this. But folks, this portion of the program, Kids Club on the Pike, they're announcing now that you can contact them regarding their summer camp. They have summer camp with Kids Club on the Pike. Reserve your space now. Kids Club on the Pike. It's right on the Cranston-Johnson line. It's right off of 295 on Plainfield Pike. Kids Club on the Pike. It's not too soon. There is a lot of people. If you recognize and realize that you need childcare in the summertime with your children, summer camp is now enrolling with Kids Club on the Pike, right on the Cranston-Johnson line, 401-443-5336. Kids Club on the Pike, whether it's for the entire summer, maybe it's for a couple of weeks, what have you. Kids Club on the Pike. They're going to love it. 401-443-5336. And again, I share their Facebook page. What I want to mention, the blatant conflict of interest. Folks, so what I just laid out for you, that I think a lot of people understand, and we understand, that is a conflict of interest. Sandra Whitehouse, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, and the fact that they have this scheme to get the money. Well, how about the fact that Ruggiero, that no one even mentions, he gets his pension from the laborers. The fact that he is the Senate, here's what I want you to understand that no one talks about. He is the Senate president. That is a conflict of interest. He works for the laborers. His first loyalty is to the laborers. That Val Lawson, who's the Senate Minority Leader, she runs the teachers union. It's an absolute conflict of interest, and no one even talks about it. I want to be very clear. Now, again, Senate Minority Leader Jessica De La Cruz, she has her own style. She can do what she wants, but I'm saying I think that she should. It's going to look really bad when the Trump people start to investigate the way things are done in Rhode Island, the way things are done in Massachusetts, these sanctuary states. Do you think they're going to give the money and realize the conflict of interest? And the question's going to be asked, why are you so silent about it? How come no one talks about it? There is someone I talk to within the administration. When I tell them these things, you know what they say back? How come no one's making noise about it at the Rhode Island State House? And I say, I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. Now, I could invite her on. She'll decline, but I'll do it anyway. But I'll tell you someone who did an interview, and I haven't heard anyone bring this out, and you're going to love it, by the way. And I am going to post this on the page coming up. You're really going to love it. I was going to post it this morning, but then the radio plagiarist, she would grab it and then try to act like she found it. And like, what's the point of that? So I was unaware that so much of this stuff was going on, but not the first time, won't be the last time. Once a plagiarist, always a plagiarist. Hey, when you have someone in their bio where they pretend they're a Fox News, whatever it is, analyst or correspondent or something, which is totally like, what else? What else would you expect? If you have someone lying in their bio that they're a Fox News, totally false. Fox News contributor, totally made up. Tom Homan was a Fox News contributor. Karl Rove is a Fox News contributor, not some local plagiarist. Folks, this portion of the program, that's right, this portion of the program, and we are going to talk to Marie coming up, is brought to you by Modern Mechanical. Where do you hear the Gabe Amo audio? No one had, well, I found it. The rest of them, they're too lazy. Modern Mechanical. Call Richard and his team. Fox News contributor. I'm on Court TV. I don't know, 20 times on the Karen Reed trial? That's someone that's contributing. Folks, Modern Mechanical, 401-441-5442. Modern Mechanical. Remember, boiler repair and maintenance, furnace repair and maintenance, heater repair and maintenance. Call Modern Mechanical today. Free estimate. Central air installation. Ductless air conditioning. Ductless air conditioning. Modern Mechanical. If your boiler is not working properly, or your furnace, or your heater, contact Modern Mechanical today. 401-441-5442. I have a family member who works at Fox. I would know if someone was a contributor. But anyhow, listen, enough of that. Listen, I was unaware. We're moving forward. I had no idea, actually. Listen, my schedule is too busy. All right, Gabe Amo. I am going to be posting this. Congressman Gabe Amo. He was on C-SPAN taking questions. I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday or Wednesday. But C-SPAN sent this to me. And they have the three lines. They have the Republican line you call in, the Democrat line, and the independent line. Listen to the question, Gabe Amo. And I want you to listen to what he said. And the rest of the media is silent on this. This is Rhode Island Congressman, CD1, Congressional District 1, Gabe Amo.
Hi, Congressman. I'd ask you how you're doing, but I need to ask you a question. As you as an caucus and a congressman, do you have to do a mental health evaluation? Because I'll tell you, looking at what you disrespectful, not standing up for that kid the other day who survived cancer and all those angel moms.
He did not stand for DJ Daniel. He did not stand for DJ Daniel. Rest of the media gives him a pass on it. We're not giving him a pass. Did not stand. Listen to what else. This caller from Florida lays out Rhode Island Congressman Gabe Amo. This is like the follow-up to Peter from Barrington.
I was a Democrat from Massachusetts. Pocahontas' home state. I travel the country now, and I went to where woke dies, Florida. And you have lost the people. Let me tell you, I travel the country. Your message is not resonating.
Nope.
Okay? You're transgender.
This is live on C-SPAN. Rhode Island Congressman Gabe Amo, live on C-SPAN. Here we go.
Have lost the people. Let me tell you, I travel the country. Your message is not resonating.
Nope.
Okay? You're transgender, and you represent a small minority.
The worst secret right now, folks, hear me out, but to me, the worst secret at 133 is that Governor McKee, Amo, Magaziner, White House, folks, you need to understand they're all on board with these trans boys playing in girls' sports. And I already know the McKee talking point. The McKee talking point, which I'm sure they all fall into, is, well, you know, the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, and that's about them, and you should ask them, and that's about safety. Folks, it's all nonsense. Amo, this guy calls it out. Notice, how come, here's my question for you. How come the local media, whether it's Channel 10, Channel 12, or the plagiarist W. McKee down the dial, how come they don't talk about that McKee is firmly in line? Rhode Island is firmly in line with Maine on the transgender policy. Fully in line. You know, a broken clock is right twice a day. I'll give credit to Pork Boy, McGreed's buddy, He even said it, that Rhode Island has identical policy to Maine. And Amo is getting laid out. Now listen what he's going to say. And what is so important here is Amo admits he refused to stand for that little cancer survivor or any of the heroes from the State of the Union. Here it is. Oh, hold on.
Not standing up. It's disgusting.
Okay.
And I don't know how.
Thanks, John.
Well, it's not me. I wish it was me. I didn't know he was going to be on. Maybe I would have called. Let me just let this finish.
And you represent a small minority.
Yep.
And what you did with those panels the other night and everything else and not standing up is disgusting.
Okay.
And I don't know how.
Thanks, John.
Look, I will stand up for the people of the 1st Congressional District every single day, and I know that.
That's not what we're talking about, Congressman. That's not what we're talking about. Now, this whole business of did he have a paddle? It doesn't matter whether or not he held up a paddle. He was sitting with the people that had the stupid paddles. Well, I won't stand for the cancer survivor. I stand up for the people of the 1st District. Hey, listen, Congressman Amo, the people of, I think, President Trump won Woonsocket. President Trump won North Smithfield. President Trump won Smithfield. President Trump won Lincoln. He did very well in certain areas in the 1st Congressional District. Well, you know, they didn't want me to stand up. I stand up for them. Wrong. And Governor McKee, well, you know, I think they spent a little bit too much time on that. You know, listen, folks, this is who they are. This is who they are. Now, I will be posting that. That guy flattened him. Gabe Amo is one of those individuals, Congressman. There has to be a Republican challenger against him. There has to be. I wish independent John Breen would run as a Republican against, if Rep Breen is listening, you could win. Run as a Republican or run as an independent and then switch when you get to D.C. But get this guy out of here. You know, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is even, the Democrat Party is split right now. You have people in Rhode Island like Magaziner and Amo and Magritte and Matos. Trans boys have the right to play with girls. Wrong. They're broken. Listen to me very carefully. If you still consider yourself, if especially if you're a male, you know, pork boy, I'm a proud Democrat. There's something wrong with someone that says that. Governor McKee, well, I'm a proud Democrat. But there's no such thing as a proud Democrat. It's an oxymoron. I will have the Amo audio up. He got flattened on national television. Of course, no one picks up on it except for the chosen one. Now, just also, we do a video up on the Facebook page and also on Instagram that ICE was in Central Falls and Pawtucket this morning. So you can see that. Folks, this portion of the program, but wait, there's more news, is brought to you by Quality Asphalt Seal Coating. Call Corey today, 401-283-9815. 401-283-9815. Quality Asphalt Seal Coating. They seal coat driveways, parking lots, crack filling, pothole repair, line striping. They can make your payment look like new. If you're listening or watching, call Corey for a free quote. They'll help keep your parking lot safe. If you're a parking lot owner, fix potholes, cracks, make sure your lines are bright, direct traffic safely. They do sport court resurfacing, pickleball, tennis, basketball. They'll also epoxy garages, patios, decorative concrete flooring. It's quality asphalt seal coating. 401-283-9815. Right now, in Boston, that's big news that the Trump administration, boom, they're going to lift the fact that a federal office that they have in downtown Boston, the federal office, they're going to remove that office because they are operating as a sanctuary state. Trump administration wants to sell major federal buildings in Boston and beyond. The U.S. Small Business Administration plans to move regional offices out of Boston. Folks, that is why Governor McGreed, this is why he continues to say Rhode Island's not a sanctuary state. That's why he does it. Rhode Island's not a sanctuary state. He does it because he is fearful, but don't be fooled by it. You know, I'm wondering if I should play this. I'm not sure if I posted this yet because we've just been so inundated, folks. He was on Protect the Governor the other day. McGreed was on. I think I can. It's out in the stratosphere. He was on, and I'll give Gene credit. Gene asked him, are we a sanctuary state? Now, as I've tried to educate people, you don't ask that question. It's very simple, actually. In 2014, Rhode Island governor, the missing link Chafee, he changed by executive order, he changed the law. So going forward, if you wanted to get an ice, let me read it. I want to make sure I'm going to read it exactly. I have put this out on X. Here it is. In 2014, Governor Lincoln Chafee directed the state's executive agencies and its Department of Corrections to stop honoring federal immigration detainers without a court order. So that was 2014. Now, it was 11 years ago. Raimondo Gina kept it that way. Now McKee comes in as governor. Just listen to me very carefully at 141. And I'm going to play. There's actually a caller out there, a listener. I would imagine he's one of our followers, John. He almost had the right question. The only way he screwed it up a little bit was he asked two questions. But you got to just have one question. But this is really simple. You don't ask, hear me out, folks. You don't say to Governor McKee, are we a sanctuary state? Because he used to say that. Now he's pivoted to, oh, no, we're not. Since Trump has come into office, he has changed his tune. He won't say it publicly. It's not going to protect him. We already have the information to Tom Holman and others. He's not, listen to me, McGreed, you're not going to be protected. But here's the way you ask the question. Would you, and Gene hints at it, but he doesn't go all the way. Would you sign an executive order that federal immigration detainers do not need a court order? Listen to me very carefully. Chafee signed an executive order directing them stop honoring federal immigration detainers without a court order. All McKee has to do is honor federal immigration detainers, period. That they don't need a court order. That's all he has to do. You know, I am going to, oh, there's Marie. All right, let me talk to Marie, and then I'm going to play this for you. Only because I could skip to the chase. The governor basically says, oh, I don't know. I don't remember if I signed an executive order. Folks, is that possible? Oh, I don't know. I'll have to go check. Now, we can agree or disagree. I want to, right now on AM 1380, 99.9 FM, or on DePetro.com, or on Facebook, or on X and YouTube. Listen, we can agree or disagree. You want to disagree, things I'm saying, that's fine. One thing we can agree on, that I find it hard to believe, actually impossible, that the governor doesn't remember. Governor McKee, I don't remember if I signed an executive order. Does that make sense to you? He's not signing them every day like President Trump. Does that sound like something that you would remember or not remember? The same person that handed out driving privileges? I also have an update on those EBT cards, by the way. But folks, let's talk to her. Joining us right now, she is the queen of health. It's our friend Marie at It's My Health, located 1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland. Good afternoon, Marie.
Hey, John. Happy Friday. Sorry I missed you last week. I was busy.
Of course you were. You're the queen of health, and hopefully people are going into your fine establishment on Men Road constantly. What is our theme on this Friday?
Well, I mean, there's still stuff going on with colds, and we're going to go right into allergy season, but I thought that I would just take a minute to talk about mushrooms. We've talked about them before, but a lot of people are incorporating mushrooms. There's lots of drinks now that have mushrooms in them. Mushrooms are great for the immune system, and individual mushrooms can be good for many, many things: brain health, heart health, energy, digestion, so many things. There are so many different mushrooms, and you can get them in blends. You can have them individually. We have them in powder. This one here is called Brain and Body. So it has herbs in it as well as some mushrooms. And a lot of people like this. It's in a powder form. You can mix it into food you're cooking. You can mix it into a smoothie. Makes it really easy. And we also have the powders of individual mushrooms. We have one for the immune system. We have one called My Community that is for when somebody's going through something really serious with their immune system. Stammet 7, kind of a standard one, 7 different mushrooms to take on a regular basis to keep your immune system strong. A lot of people like turkey tail if they're in the middle of, or some cellular health problems. So there are a lot of different mushrooms, but they're getting incorporated. Here's one that has a mocha, so it has coffee in it, but it also has the lion's mane in it and some other things. This company has a hot chocolate. A couple of companies have the hot chocolate, and they have different mushrooms in there. So it's a good way to incorporate, even if you don't like mushrooms. Some people don't like to cook them, don't like to eat them in things, don't like them on their pizza. But you can take them in supplement form. And then we have them in capsules as well. But another one, we have a coffee one, and then we have a coffee latte. So a lot of different ways. You see them on Facebook all the time, some different companies, but we don't necessarily know some of those companies and where, who they are or what they're making or where things come from. And we can do that research, so there are some good out there, but these are the ones that we carry. So mushrooms, I highly recommend incorporating them into every day. And as
Marie,
we get
you are
ready to go
so
into it,
knowledgeable. And again,
as we get
folks, it's
ready to
Marie.
go
It's
into
My Health,
allergy season, we want them.
Yep. Yes. And what I like about it, Marie, is, as you say, let's just say if someone's making something simple like some pasta, spaghetti, and meatballs, put some of that, what you have of mushrooms into it. Not only does it add flavor, but now you've just created something that's actually very healthy for someone.
Right. You've taken something that may not be the healthiest thing if it were pasta or something, but you've now added in something that's good. Add a few veggies in there too, and now you've got a half decent meal. So we can keep it simple.
Marie, I also just want to ask you that there's a lot of people that have just been hammered with flu and COVID. This has been a bad season. Maybe someone is still getting back on their feet, or maybe they have a family member that could go in, but you do have some products that could start to bring their system back.
Yes, we do. We have some immune boosting products. Mushrooms would be one of them, but there are other herbal things that can be helpful. Some homeopathics as well that can help someone through the colds, flu, stomach virus, all of the things that we've had going on. And then one of my favorites is the Oscillococcinum. It's a homeopathic remedy. So even if you just feel off for a day, you pop some of that and you'll start to feel better. Or if you're just trying to get over something that you've had, it will help your body to recover faster. So there's some things, we can do. And of course, drinking lots of water, having vitamin C. There are many other things, that we can do to get us well again. But it's a long haul for some people.
It is indeed. Folks, she is the queen of health. It is Marie, and it's My Health, 1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland. Marie, tomorrow is Super Saturday. We're a week. Next Thursday is a week from the first day of spring. What's going on at It's My Health this weekend?
So tomorrow morning we have a Pilates class at 8 o'clock for the early risers. We have one at 9:30. We have a really nice meditative, gentle yoga at 10 o'clock. And then we have the second Saturday of every month, we have a group that gets together called the Power of Eight. So it's a meditation group. Anybody can join. It's a good sized group. And I believe it's based on a book called The Power of Eight, and it's 8 minutes that they focus on some particular issue that maybe an individual has, or even a world event or something going on in the country. And they just meditate on it for 8 minutes, and it's supposed to make a big difference. And people love it. It's really a great thing.
Folks, she is the best. Now, if you're listening right now or watching, and listen, it's worth the ride, especially if you're in Lincoln, obviously Woonsocket, Cumberland, Smithfield, North Smithfield, anywhere, Pawtucket. Make the pilgrimage to visit the Queen of Health, get her blessing, ask her questions about hemp and CBD products. She is dedicated her vocation to keeping you and your family healthy. It's Marie at It's My Health. Marie, excellent job on this Friday, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you. Take care, John.
All right, folks, she is so terrific. And I get such good feedback from people about our segment. And I just find her very, very knowledgeable. Someone that Marie has spoken very strongly about Bobby Kennedy. And he is a very compelling figure. I'll admit that in the past, I was not as familiar with a lot of the things that he has advocated for, but there are people that can lead you in the right direction. Folks, this portion of our program is brought to you by Watson Materials. Well, listen, Watson Materials carries the largest selection of landscape materials in Rhode Island. South County Trail. Call them 401-885-0600. 401-885-0600. Call Sean at Watson Materials. Landscape lighting, pavers, retaining walls, natural stone, cobblestone. Watson Materials. 401-885-0600. 401-885-0600 for Watson Materials. Before I run out of time, I'm telling you right now, I recognize, and I want to be very clear, this is not a jab at local media as far as like Channel 10 or Channel 12. They're regurgitating what the McKee administration are putting out there regarding these stolen EBT cards. $500,000 stolen in a single week. So I want to be very clear. When I'm saying that, oh, wow. All right. I didn't know that. Okay. There was a shots fired in Prairie Avenue this morning in Providence. I didn't realize that. All right. Well, hopefully we'll have something like that later tonight with Road Patrol. What I'm hearing is that is actually not possible. That it's, and I want to be very clear. This is not a shot at Channel 10. It's not a shot at Channel 12. They're repeating what they were told by the McKee administration. 500,000 stolen in an EBT scam. I don't believe that. I believe that's what the McKee administration is putting out to the media, but it's my understanding that this comes from the cyber attack. That's what it is. In McKee, folks, come on. The guy plays fast and loose with the truth big time. I believe he's directing his agency heads to say, don't mention that it's on the cyber attack, but it is. Now, 500,000 in 1 week. Let's do the math. This could end up being like 2 million a month or more. But I don't believe this whole business of it was a skim. As someone that is involved with that said, so we're to believe that in the course of 1 week, some small convenience store that they rang $500,000 at some convenience store. on Cranston Street, they're not doing $500,000 in a week at a convenience store on Cranston Street. Oh no, yeah, that was with the EBT cards. Folks, it just doesn't. I mean, if you do the math, I don't believe it. I don't even have to get into the math of it. It's not. I don't believe them. They don't want to say it's because of the cyber attack. All right. I also want to remind you about Arch Design Builders. Call them today, Arch Design Builders, 401 207 4124. 401 207 4124, Arch Design Builders. Now, whether it is a bathroom or a kitchen or a basement or a deck or a special project, residential or commercial, Arch Design Builders. Give them a call today. Call Roxanne. Now, this is the husband and wife team that you can depend on. 401 218 9707. ARCH, Arch Design Builders. You're going to notice the Arch difference. Family owned and operated, custom remodels, 5-star. And I've heard from some of their customers what a fantastic job they did adding on an in-law apartment or redoing their family room or redoing their basement. Arch Design Builders. They've been doing this for over 40 years. 401 218 9707. Free quote, Arch Design Builders. 401 207 4124. Well, folks, good afternoon on this Friday. Now, we will be active with Road Patrol Live, obviously later this afternoon and this weekend. And let's see. I'm just looking at some of the headlines right now. And, you know, it is disappointing. The Drudge Report, I was a big fan of the Drudge Report. I don't know what it is. Maybe because President Trump took a swipe at them. But they're just not, it's not the Drudge Report that I used to lean on and go to. I used to log on to the Drudge Report several times a day. How about this? Trump administration is going to cut $400 million of funding to Columbia University over anti-Semitism allegations. It's about time. It's about time. That's not freedom of speech. Absolutely, it should be done. $400 million in funding to Columbia. Why do you have members of Hamas inside buildings on the Columbia campus in New York? Why do you have that? Why should you have that? The answer is no. What people, folks, and I still want to point out that a lot of people still don't recognize is, if you're like me, I'm applauding all the wasteful cuts. I'm applauding all the wasteful cuts. We don't want to live this way. I was going to mention, and I didn't play it, but so Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, he is under major attack. He's the first Democrat to come out, governor of California, and say that he does not believe that boys should be saying it's unfair about transgender boys. I want to be very clear about something, folks. So this Trump administration cancels $400 million. You can't run that. You're not going to allow the progressives and the Rhode Island State House of Rhode Island has a bunch of them. This anti-Semitic rhetoric they come out with. It's not going to be allowed. But Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, he is under major attack. I'm anxious to see if another either governor or congressperson or senator, some elected Democrat official, if they're also going to step forward and say it's an unfair advantage. In Rhode Island, you have Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee saying, oh, we stand with Maine. We stand with the governor of Maine. Folks, it's so distorted and they don't realize that we're just not going to take it anymore. Listen, thank you to JR for a great week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to The Real News. Remember, we will be active with Road Patrol Live later. If you listen to the radio, listen to coming up is the 2 o'clock news, and then everyone else will see you later on Road Patrol Live.